Alright, this is a green-white enchantments deck that someone in the subs Discord posted they were having fun with. I don't have strong... If you're looking at this asking me, Jeff, why aren't you playing card X, Y, or Z? It's because the deck list I copy and pasted and imported into my deck editor wasn't playing it. I'm just going to start here. I haven't put any brain power into this archetype yet. We're going to play a couple of games and see how it feels. Maybe we'll make some changes after we play a little. But whenever I snake a deck list from someone, I always like to play with it card for card to get a feel for why they made some of the choices that they made to start. I don't think there's a really compelling reason to play Standard when Alchemy exists. So 21 months, Pyromancer. Welcome back. I think there's a viable deck with the new Tamiyo. No, I don't think the Tamiyo is very good. Tamiyo's +1 is the type of ability that really excels in a format where creature combat and playing to the board matters, and I don't think Alchemy is currently a format where playing to the board matters a whole ton. And the few decks that do feel like they play to the board go super wide, which makes Tamiyo pretty embarrassed. Thanks for the follow, Burrito Supreme. I mean, this hand is like technically a 5-land 4-spell hand, huh? Best 2 Planeswalker is the Wanderer. Yeah, I agree with that take. The Wanderer is really sweet. We're gonna play. I've got a few historic decks to play the Wanderer I want to try out. Red white mid range specifically sounds good. And I've got black white Planeswalkers for Alchemy I want to play at some point too. Those of you who are just coming in, my plan for the foreseeable future is to do 1 Alchemy and 1 historic deck every day on stream as long as both formats are feeling fun. Obviously, if either of them starts to get tedious, we'll bail out and just do all of the other, but for now, I have things that I want to try in both formats, so we're going to split our time between the two. Hey, Steve, you traded me a Noble Hierarch at Richmond years ago and saw your streaming and decided to sub. Well, thanks for the prime. I appreciate you keeping me around. God, paper magic days feels like an eternity ago. Are all 4 walkers from Neo playable? I don't think Tamiyo is very good. Kaido is one I've been impressed with. Kaido's another one. We played a blue-black deck on Friday that felt kind of okay, and I wanna iterate on that deck some more. I never did, like, believe it or not, based on my history and how I feel about economies in these various games, Beetle, I never actually did a lot of trading. When I was playing Paper Magic, I either borrowed cards or just bought the ones I wanted directly. I find the whole experience of, like, haggling and stuff like that very tedious and annoying. Yeah, Tezzeret seems sweet in Historic. There might be a Tezzeret deck in Alchemy / Standard too. It's definitely on my list of things to try. Yeah, trading and the secondary economy in Magic in general was always a bug, not a feature for me. Thanks for the follow, Max Tags. I just want to play the game. I dislike all of the hoops you have to jump through to play the game in Magic. Whether it's acquiring cards on Arena or Paper. Am I playing this as a gain one, a gain two? I think I am. Great. I think we're in a spot where I'm gaining two. Oh, this has lifelink. I should get that down because it has lifelink. Yes, especially in the post-smartphone era of trading, where everyone just had their, like, okay, we can't do this trade because these cards on TCG Player have $1 price difference between them. It's like, come on, can't we just, like what's the... It's like, did you want to do this or not? Are we worried about 75 cents? Or did we want to do this? Yeah. Yeah, I also understand that the secondary market and trading creates a mini game that many people enjoy. There's a lot of people that the only thing they do to interact with Magic stuff is trade. It's the way they enjoy playing the game. They play a different game that's not played on the battlefield. It's played in the trade binders. Emperor sounds good. I don't actually know if Portable Hole and Circle of Confinement are good here. My opponent didn't actually play targets further, they just kept dashing stuff. Just gonna cut those for now. We'll leave a couple of these in until we see more of their deck. Might change how we're sideboarded for game 3 if it happens. I don't think a dedicated Ninjas deck is likely to be very good, Logan. We played a blue-black tempo-y deck on Friday that was fine. That we're definitely going to revisit. Match 1, game 2, John. Yeah, most local game stores in the United States, they don't allow you to trade cards for cash inside of their shop like it is. How's the vehicle deck? The vehicle deck in Historic actually seemed pretty sweet. Historic itself is kind of tedious, though. We played against 5 control decks in 8 matches, I think. Which was a little on the unfortunate side. I have very little desire to play Standard with Alchemy existing. I do not play Magic as a paper game, so there's not really an appealing reason for me to touch Standard. Yeah, I agree, Charlie. The Magic economy, there's, you know, a dozen different ways you could list to improve it offhand, but it's significantly better for someone like me than paper is. Alright. Double Hallowed Haunting on curve seems pretty good. Start making a lot of friends. It is definitely accurate that Magic Arena's economy is punishing for brewing. You are heavily incentivized to craft only good cards, because good cards cost the same as bad cards. Generally speaking. Just take this hit. Yeah, a Patchwork Automaton with Reinforced Ruin is pretty good one too. Interesting. I'd have thought they'd want to push the board more there. I'm super happy my opponent's just opting to hang back this turn. Untapped land so we can play our second Haunting. Usual 7 or more enchantments. Creatures you control have flying and vigilance. Working our way up towards that. Comments like the one I just removed from chat are obnoxious and unhelpful. It's always welcome for you to leverage criticism of the decks that we are playing on stream and chat. However, generic comments like X other version is just a better version of this deck with no justification or reasoning behind it is just lazy. It just serves to put down the work that somebody else has done. If you want to be like, hey, Jeff, I think card X, Y, or Z could be better here for A, B, or C reasons, like, that's great. Like, that type of feedback is very valuable and goes a long way. But just, hey, you should play this other version of this deck with, like, no justification. Just stop it. That's lazy and not welcome in my chat. Actually, the 55 months thought nuts. They're dead if we draw an untapped land next turn, right? Because we'll get 7 enchantments and our stuff will gain flying. Land or 2-mana enchantment are both lethal. Take it. Yeah, haunted whatever. That's pretty good. Well, the title says we're playing Alchemy, so I'm pretty sure this isn't historic. Yeah, I think the turn my opponent pumped the brakes and discarded their 2/2 with ace instead of continuing to pressure with it was probably a mistake. Yeah, Butters, thanks for the 25 months. Welcome back. I think that one's gotta go. As much as I would like to play a 2-drop this turn, not giving them a trigger with this has a lot of value. Scale of 1 to dead, where's my Kami at? Probably the dead side of the scale.
I hope you like your hors d'oeuvres extra crispy. You're lucky this is a warning shot.
Our toughness equal to the number of permanents you control that are spirits and or enchantments. Oh, this isn't an enchantment. I was like, why is this a 1/1? This one's not an enchantment, technically.
Aw, you're looking a little singed.
Hey, Senzai, thank you for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. And then we just killed Chandra here, right? They have like a Fated Retribution here to keep their Planeswalker alive. Those dies were probably dead. If it connects, though, we're in a very good spot. I mean, the articulation that I have on stream while playing is very simply put just like what I go through in my head when I'm playing games myself. We need to bottom that. Yeah, I think I had to bottom that card there because we need we need more creatures. Alright, what if we just gain infinite life?
Give a toast? I'd love to.
So 37 months, Chris. Welcome back. Sometimes narrating your plays in person can be good when your opponent's very clearly got something going on, and you can just save everybody time by talking through it. Oh, this doesn't even have haste? Why do these things exile and put themselves back into play? That's so frustrating. I don't know that I like that design. Yeah, the Chandra ult's probably gonna kill us, chat. That people had time to interact with the creature? You had 2 turns to plan for the creature. They exile to get rid of the lore counters? Yeah, I guess that's probably true. I don't really know. I don't really know if that's worth keeping. I don't really have that many, like, bombs in my deck to scry to, right? Like, if I'm bottoming this, what am I hoping to draw? I guess, like, a removal spell is a good draw, like a Touch of the Spirit Realm. Could be right to just keep that.
So dark out. I don't believe in two.
Okay, well, they only got a 2/2, or 1/1, 2 mana spells. It's good for us. That's pretty aggro, given my board state. This is definitely worse than the enchantment that we bottomed, so a little bit of Scryer's remorse here. Yeah, but, like, the people templating the cards also make those rules, Jeffa. So, like, if that was awkward, they could just change the rules so it's not awkward. Wow! And the fact that I didn't keep an enchantment on top means that my portrait dies to the Chandra trigger on this Inferno now. Just getting supremely punished. Brutal. If I had one more enchantment in play, these portraits would be 7. You get the what back? No? I don't know what you think my cards do, but they don't do whatever you think it is. There's going to be an open in March. Whether or not it's after the new Alchemy cards get released, we'll find out. I have March 19th is going to be the next one, and I'm hoping that the Alchemy cards release that week, but I actually just can't know because Wizards doesn't communicate with. Oh, we get this Kami back. Got it. That one. That one died like 8 years ago. Forgot it existed. We're kind of dead here, huh? Feels kind of dead. Yeah, there will be an Alchemy set release for every standard set moving forward. So approximately 1 month after the set release of the regular set, there'll be a 25 to 30 card digital direct-to-digital drop that also comes with rebalances for the Alchemy format. I don't think I want to trade these here, but it's close. They missed spending a red? Am I dead on the backswing? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, 7, 13. Yeah, I'm actually taking exactly 21 on the backswing. Brutal. It's 22. Yeah, if I... That scry we did where we bottomed the enchantment, if I would have had that, this would have... The second one of these would have lived. We'd have had two bigger things. I mean, they have to count that high, but... The Goldspan Dragon makes a treasure that makes 2 red, chat, is how you get to 22. Alright, they missed the line. God bless. Counting is hard, chat. Is this lethal? It's probably pretty close to lethal, right? You're like, make this huge and trample? I'm aware they have 2 blockers, chat. This thing is trample. Yeah, they're dead. Okay. So opponent missed onboard lethal, and then we drew a card to kill them. God bless. And in the event that it wasn't lethal, we're going to 26. Our sideboard removal is not particularly well suited for this type of matchup. I guess Emperor, Borrowed Time aren't terrible. This card seems kind of bad. I might replace this with the destroy target creature or planeswalker they get to investigate. Fated Absence or whatever it's called. It's probably a bit better than this. Magic players are the worst. Faithful Absence seems like a strict upgrade from this other card that does something different. It's a more flexible upgrade, but strict, the word strict in there could not be further from the truth. There's a real cost to giving your opponent a clue. In general, you'd be well served to remove things like strictly better, strictly worse from your vocabulary.
Yep, I'm basically a professional at saving in a stride by now. You're lucky this is a warning shot.
Do I play Touch the Spirit Realm to kill this? I think so. Obviously can't target her, but can make our thing big enough to deal the final blow. Opponent has a very strict stance on 4/4s. Well, I don't have 2 green at the moment. Probably should have played the second Crossroads on green. Easy game. Get all of our spirits, chat. We've got spirit. Yes, we do. We've got spirit. How about you? Alright, so we're done here. Get the little baby 4/4. This archetype seems, I honestly wasn't expecting this archetype to feel cohesive when I looked at it initially. And I'm glad we decided to give it a try. Really cute little aggressive deck here. We're doing some stuff and some things. Yeah, it's a big old pile of synergy cards. You think this deck's good against Meat Hook? I don't know if I believe that. Can you describe your experience? What do you think makes this deck good against Meat Hook? On paper, I would think that should be hard. Well, there's stats up on Untapped already. Those are good. They're performing well in Standard. Oh yeah, in Standard. I gotta pick through some of the Standard results. It's not posted results in Alchemy yet, but yeah, there's a deck list in Best of 1 Standard. is very similar to what we're playing here in Alchemy. So just all of my regulars, I'm just not really going to give you opinions on Standard. I'm not making an effort to keep up with that format. I don't really think playing against Azeka's Chariot and Unnerfed Goldspan Dragon are a great time. So if you see one of our decks and you want to take it into Standard, good luck, Godspeed. I don't really have thoughts on that other than good luck, Godspeed. Yeah, the if you have Haunt Out is a big asterisk. So, like, maybe this deck can keep up against generic Meat Hook decks, but specifically the white-black Meat Hook deck gets to play a bunch of Rites of Oblivion and Vanishing Verse in the post-board games, which mean that having sticky permanents remain in play isn't something that you're generally able to do. So yeah, it makes sense if you can keep the enchantment out that you recover okay, but I don't expect that to be the average case scenario against the black-white deck. 3 damage to my face, well that's setting the tone of the game. Alright, what did my face ever do to you? MTG might really not have the new card still. Let me go ping about that. Hey, good to have you, Hercio. What board game? What board game are you punching out? All right, so let's go Kami into Rain here. Pump this up, smack him a bit. Speaking of Meat Hook matchups, this could be what we're playing right now. And a Meat Hook would sweep our entire board because this dying would make this small enough to die. Unless Standard is incredibly meaningfully different than Alchemy and not just Alchemy plus a bunch of cracked cards that have been rebalanced in Alchemy, yeah, I can't really see myself playing Standard again as a digital-only player. Even like COVID situation aside, I don't really have an incentive to play paper Magic. Streaming board games well is incredibly difficult to do, and the audience that I would have while doing that incredibly difficult thing is very small. So the effort to return ratio on trying to do a board game stream would not be ideal. I don't think I want to offer this trade. I guess if I offer this trade, we could flip this over on the backside. And for what it's worth, it is possible that, like, Standard ends up in a spot that's meaningfully different than Alchemy, with Alchemy consistently getting both rebalances and new direct-to-digital cards, but I don't think that's currently indicative of the current state. Hey, look, chat. My opponent cast a Meat Hook Massacre, and my creature deck looks really embarrassing. That's mostly been my experience trying to play creature decks. You want a hot take about board game content and paper magic content, chat? The only watchable paper magic / board game content that really exists is the game nights. Even stuff like SCGs versus live, I don't think has enough editing and stuff added in to make it really consumable to people who aren't super invested. So at 33 months, McNux. I'm actually not familiar with I Hate Your Deck, so I'm not sure what their production looks like. But if it's not comparable levels to Game Nights, like Game Nights is just like a huge cut above everything else. We're super dead at this point, right? They have 6 cards in their hand. So Borrowed Time and Emperor come in. I guess they'll bring in Ranger's Class for a little bit of grind. And for what it's worth, my comment there isn't to say that other people that make paper magic content don't work hard at what they do, because I know it's a lot of effort to do paper magic content. I did it for years. It's just the return, what you end up getting just isn't a very good product compared to digital. I don't think strength of personalities can make paper content watchable. It can make you enjoy it, and it can make you tolerate the level of, presentation that is there more. But from a watchability, ease of parsing, yeah, I mean, like, there's 100 reasons why Game Nights is what it is, chat. Like, the level of production they have is incredible, and they spend a ton of money on it, because they have a lot of support. Like, what's his name? The guy that edits it, Josh, I'm blanking on his last name. He used to, like, edit, like, commercials and movies, right? Like, he's really good at what he does. McNux, thank you for the 33 months. Welcome back. Yeah, Josh Lee. Right, I think this is a Hallowed Haunting on Never Angle because it's discarded. Anyways, they started blasting shit. And not only did that kill my 4/4, but it exiled it. So the grindy advantage of this has been completely negated, which is big sad. We did at least spike a Hallowed Haunting here. Interested to see if this card feels like it can let us grind through their interaction or not. Okay. If one haunting is good, two must be better. Another green source next turn would be great. Just go Naturalist, Naturalist. Make a bunch of friends. Thank you, honey. Sorry, did I say we had friends, chat? I meant they have a Meat Hook Massacre. That's what I meant. Alright, land. Land. Okay. Okay, we're cooking with gas, chat. Seeing some of that recover potential in the haunting that we talked about a second ago. Burning down the house. Woo! Alright, is there sweeper number 3? Alright. Haunting dragged us kicking and screaming across the finish line there. Let's see if we can do it again. getting back into Magic and not spending money don't usually go particularly well together. I think the blue-black tempo deck's probably the sweetest thing we've played so far, Beetle, as far as leveraging new cards goes. I've liked that one. To be fair, I don't think everybody takes a break from Magic because of the price point. There's definitely some people that do that, but I think a lot of like for me personally, whenever I take a break, it's way more play pattern related than price related. We cleverly have double haunting here, chat. Skill game. I used to play Modern and then MH2 dropped. I mean, it's pretty common for people to stop playing Magic formats when they rotate. Rotation's a big driver in causing people to go check out other things for a little bit. Woof. Lack of enchantments feels bad, man. Can we take the hit here and just plan to make the sash big enough to block this? Come on, any castable enchantment. Magic the Gathering. Yeah, right, Mike? Okay. Oh, is Magic outperforming Yu-Gi-Oh on Twitch now? I actually haven't checked that, but did their initial rush fall off and now it's under Magic? Take a peekaboo at that. You're unfortunately dead to Giant Flyers here. I guess I can make this. Yeah, I need a way to make this slightly bigger. If we could make this 6/6 and attack through here, it would be great. So looking at single snapshots isn't good when it comes to talking about the success of a particular game. You wanna look at like what's the 7-day average? Etc. 7-day, 30-day, 90-day, etc. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh is still in its same month in the first month since it released, so it's still outperforming Magic by a factor of 2 on average viewer count. Like, I believe the person that said at this very moment in time concurrently Magic is above, but overall that's just not true. Is this the same opponent? I don't usually pay attention to names. I mean, I'm a pretty small fish, all things considered, Coder Chris, in Magic these days. I don't stream as much Magic as I used to. My metrics put me in like usually like top 20. There's a number of people that do more Magic content more consistently than I do. We're still here chucking along consistently, but not quite like we used to. If you've never seen it before and you're curious about Twitch stats and stuff like that, a website like this has stats for individual streamers and games. Very metrics-oriented person has fun clicking around and stuff like that. Drawing reasonable comparisons. Or attempting to. To get this one going. card is so good, chat. Very, very powerful. I hate that we never get to be the pawn side. You know, I never thought about it that way, but that's true. You are always on the non-pawn side of this map. It's a good observation. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Forbidden West too, Reggio. My plan, we're gonna do like a 7-8 hour all day Forbidden West stream on Friday, and then it's gonna be the last couple hours of the stream moving forward after that. No, Forbidden West will be my first time actually streaming a game on release day. I think we just sacked this. It was nice of them to do that one so I can play this other one from my hand. I think we need to do this and get rid of the Town Razor. I think I'd rather have the extra board presence here than drawing a card. Might be like a meat hook turn. Just gonna go ahead and trade off here and keep my life total high. I can block these. I might not necessarily be able to block flying creatures that come down. Look at they have another tyrant here. To power word kill this, which is Sedge. I think I'm supposed to Spirited Companion here into Reign of Truth to not only get Reign of Truth going, but also because this sequence gives me the best chance to be able to put this on something next turn to gain some life. That's also a good draw. Means we get to do this. And now if we draw a land, we get to do this. Enchanted creature gets flying, lifelink, protection from vampires, and XX, where X is the number of spirits and enchantments we control. So they're gonna deal 3 to my Naturalist, I imagine. They attack with these. I have to trade off. It's a little sad, but that's what it is. Untapped land here probably means we win the game. Guess I could have a removal spell next turn, but even getting one hit in here is a really big swing. This card's been very good, Katilda. Boarded like this last time and it felt okay. Big dodge, chat. Big dodge. By the way, folks, if you enjoy Alchemy, you're interested in playing or watching some Alchemy, be sure to be around for Saturday, February 19th, just a few days. We're going to be having our next Hoaglandia Open. It is a set championship qualifier for the Streets of New Capenna Championship as well. You can sign up for that event on MTG Melee using the link in chat. We'll also be broadcasting it all day on Twitch. Myself and Jim Davis will be bringing you a majority of the broadcast, and then special guest Raphael Levy will be joining us for a couple of rounds in the middle. We bought him the redundant copy of that for now. Would really like to try and spike our 4-mana enchantment in this matchup. Lion Sash is fine. It's like reasonable in these attrition-based matchups, but pretty bad in the aggressive matchups. It's definitely a much worse card than Scavenging Ooze overall. The lack of life gain means that it lacks Scavenging Ooze's flexibility that made it a real powerhouse. Sash is an embarrassing magic card in the aggressive matchups. It's like fine against mid-range and control. Yeah, we just had to believe. Kept the third land, drew the Hallowed Haunting. Just draw all castable enchantments from here on out. Hey, thanks for extending your sub, Griffin. Welcome back. Alright. I mean, that was probably the best draw in our deck, huh? $37 times better than Scooz. Only 37 times? It's gotta be 100 times better for Reddit to be really excited about something. Wow, the punishment. Malakir Rebirth. Making it so I get got for not playing this out pre-combat. I guess we get to pick it back up, but I also don't get to cast it this turn, which is sad. easily the best card in our deck that we could, whenever I use the card rec command and people read the card rec command and then post more crap without actually answering any of the question in the card rec command, it takes me back to people that are just bad students. Like, you didn't actually read the question, you just decided to spew. Like, 9 times out of 10 when I use the card rec command, and for people at home or on YouTube, the card rec command says, why should we add that card? What problem do we have that it solves? What should it replace? It asks 3 very pointed questions. 9 times out of 10, the response people have to seeing that command in chat is they tell me the text box of the card. Like, I know I'm a Magic player, so there's a good chance I'm illiterate, but I can read the Magic card that you are suggesting to me. I don't need you to tell me what the text box is. The proper way to approach deck building is answering those questions that I just gave. Identify a problem your deck has, and then figure out if a potential card is a solution to it. And then if you do think you have a problem and a potential solution, you then go to the next step and figure out, hey, how do I cut, what do I change in my deck to fit this potential solution in? And then the following step after that, in addition to testing games, is thinking through to the next level of, okay, the card that I'm cut, what potential problems am I creating in my deck by cutting the card that I cut? Those are kind of the layers of good deck building you should go through. And for what it's worth, Ewok, I have no problem with people telling me they have a pet card they like playing. Magic's a game you should play for fun. If there's a card that you just love casting, you should cast it. But just, like, be honest with yourself and someone else about that. God, this deck would play the shit out of Courser Crucifix, chat. Courser Crucifix is a real banger. That card is lovely. Wait, Runeterra removed support for expeditions? Seriously? That's crazy to me. So they have like, they have 1 game mode? Or 2? They have is it 3? So single player if you count it, but for PvP, they just have gauntlets and ladder? Yeah, that was their limited format. That's wild. Yeah, I had heard other Runeterra content creators. Yeah, it sounds like they're gonna do something different. So that's a good thing. Fabricator, thanks for the 16 months. I mean, for what it's worth, Runeterra's limited mode was incredibly unpopular, was my understanding from talking to people in their community. So getting rid of a game mode most people weren't playing is like probably fine. I have 90 expedition tokens. Yeah, see, you're not the only one. Now, the awkward part about this board right now is if they meat hook massacre us for 2, we lose our whole board here. Oh no. Why Why is exiling the default for removal in 22, chat? My card stays purple, chat. They're all gonna be exiled. Yeah, Runeterra still has their Slay the Spire like single player adventure mode. It's really good. What if, instead of printing better answers that meant everything had to exile everything else all of the time, we instead printed less powerful threats? So the 16 months Fabricator, welcome back. They knew Yu-Gi-Oh! Was coming out with a new client, so now every card is banished to the Shadow Realm. Oh, that's great.
I'm home.
Goodbye, friends. Speaking of exile removal,
My judgment is final. I'm never done for good.
I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me. Do 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 do. The worst part about this card is you get to know when you're bricking again next turn too. You're like, not only am I bricking this turn, but for my next trick, I shall brick again next turn. We've got half of a Courser crew fix. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Yeah, I think the Wandering Emperor is great. Yeah, Courser would be a great addition to Historia. Courser and Tireless Tracker, please. These are a few of my favorite things.
We've got the edge in this fight.
Oh, brick by glorious brick, chat. Calling Augur of Autumn, Courser of Crewfix is like calling Lion Sash Scavenging Ooze. They just really aren't the same, I promise you. Speaking of, Did I miss lethal? I missed lethal. I would like the record to reflect I missed lethal. I am aware that lethal has been missed. You do not need to remind me. I could have eaten 3 things with this and then reconfigured chip. Okay, and they're blasting this now. So I want to just prioritize eating. I can't get this out of blast range. So let's just prioritize eating things that they might want to kick back down the line. We lose this game, I messed it up. Brittle Blast seems good because it is good. I think it's probably the best removal spell in Alchemy. Alright, Hallowed Haunting on top. There's going to be an enchantment creature underneath it, so we can go haunting and to play the creature off the top of the library. It's going to be great. I can feel it. Woohoo! Opponent is living on the edge, Chip. Yes, they do have just damage sitting here on the board. Something to note. So we're dead next turn, actually. I think we're gonna lose this game because I missed lethal. We're actually just dead. That's unfortunate. Our deck could have won that. I was unable to win that, but our deck was capable. Our opponent just like also didn't draw any meat hooks. I guess they had burnt down the house. Meat hook would have been scarier though, because it would have been draining us while they did it. Thoughts on this? Hallowed Haunting felt powerful when it popped off. Katilda felt like a pretty powerful payoff. The non-enchantment cards in this deck, I think, are the ones I found most suspect. And a big part of why they felt kind of suspect was, I don't know that the kind of engines these are setting up are worth them being bricks in the mid to late game, huh? Like, I think one or both of these probably goes away. This card especially, like, the potentially grindy aspect of this seems not very good with all the removal in the format that exiles. So I think I would probably try something without these. This might be fine, but these 2 cards in particular felt kind of individually weak and not powerful. And I think if I were to try this, I would try and focus around this core, things that can trip, and Hallowed Haunting and Katilda felt like the big payoffs, along with Reign of Truth. So maybe focus around these, get at least one more of these in here, and try and do something else enchantment based with these that help enable the engine as a whole.